Steve, we've had an excellent run. We've lost today, and sometimes people will say that will be when you really find out how good your team is, as whether they respond to that and how they respond to that defeat.
Yeah, a bit disappointed we haven't got a game on Wednesday really, because I always want to bounce back with another game. But we're training hard. Looking forward to Leiston in the FA Cup next week. But in terms of the game, thought we'd done all right. Had 2 blocks in the first half, which people weren't throwing their bodies on the line in opposition's penalty boxes in the previous games when they were going in the back of the net. They defended well. Second half, I thought we'd done reasonably well to start with. Got the penalty. Penalty spot's an issue. It's not an excuse, it's a fact that it's soft underfoot and they're trying to work on it and get it done, but it didn't help with one of their one of their staff walking across it before the start of the second half, treading it down. Saying that, they defended well in numbers and looked for the counter-attack, but I can't play like that. I won't play like that. Whether it gets me 3 points or not, and people might shoot me down for that, but that's not the way I like to play football. Whether we're home or away, I like to go out and play attacking football, and 9 times out of 10 you'll get the results if you're positive. I can't be negative and just catch people on the break. That's not me. They've done it today, they've hurt us, but we've gone from second to third. And at half time, I don't know who the gentleman was, but one of our supporters screamed across to me, McKIMM, sort them out, they're rubbish. Something along them lines. I might have got the wording wrong, but sort them out. So before I had my team talk, I went over to speak to him and just asked, is it an improvement on last year? Because to have a comment like that, 0-0, playing a team that are third in the league, I felt a bit hurtful, and some of the players heard it as well. And that's why I went over there, not to cause an argument, but just to state the fact that we are now third in the league now. We was second, but we're third in the league after 11 games. The boys give me everything every week. The fans here have been sport with 7 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals. Clean sheet after clean sheet. And to get a comment like that at half time, maybe I should have bigger shoulders and take it, but I can't, because that's not me. If you wanted to address it afterwards in the bar, come up and speak to me, or pull me after the game. But to shout at half time as we're walking off the pitch, I wasn't impressed with that. But I spoke to him in a calm and kind manner. I wasn't out of order, but my question was it an improvement? And the gentleman then threw back at me, was Folkestone an improvement last week? We didn't play very well at Folkestone, but we're through to the next round of the Cup. So I really don't know what, the majority of supporters know what I'm trying to do, but what some supporters want. Do they want us winning 3-4-0? As I said in the interview just now, if I can do that, I wouldn't be managing Tonbridge Angels. I felt today I got the subs wrong. They didn't make an impact. Well, no, I wouldn't say I got them wrong. I'd say they didn't make an impact like we've had in previous games. So if it's the fact that the subs have come on and people think they didn't really do well, I'll take that on the chin. But that comment at half time, I've got that ringing in my mind before I do my team talk. And listen, everyone's valid to their opinion. But I think 11 games in and we're sitting where we are, I think it's very harsh. So, like I say, that was a bit of a dampener. Forget the result, because we've bounced back from that. There's a long way to go, and I always say don't get too high, don't get too low. You always hear me saying that. Today's a bit of a low because of the way they scored right at the end. Did we deserve it? Last 20 minutes we run out of ideas. But again, they were negative. We had to break them down and we couldn't. Other times when teams have been negative, we've been able to break them down. So if the penalty goes in, it's a different game altogether. But I say, I don't know where that gentleman's coming from in terms of sorting them out, because he thought the right side, James Folks and Jerome Sobers, weren't at the races, weren't good. They were the two he identified, the right centre half and right back. And I thought James Folks was superb, because that Patrick Brothers is a very good player. He hurt us down here last year, and James had him very quiet in the first half, and Jerome won man of the match. So
I think he must have been watching a different game, Steve. If I'm honest, because
well, you might say that, Jim. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to say anything against our supporters. But what I will do is talk to them openly, give them my honest opinion. We're going off the subject to the game, but I need this to be said. We're not doing too bad, and We're going to have spells in games where we're not good. We're going to have 45 minutes where we're not good, you know, but I don't know what people want at this football club. The budget's been increased and I've brought a little bit more quality in than I had last year. But if I look at your Dovers, if I look at Ebbsfleet, if I look at Margate, Maidstone, the budgets that they've got, rightly or wrongly, however they get it, it's not my business, but is much more than mine. We're in the Ryman Premier and every game's a hard game. Conference South, every game's a hard game. But they might be able to compete in them leagues because of the budgets they've got. We haven't got a budget like that where I can go and get anybody. Do you know what I mean? And people will say to me, what are you talking about other teams' budgets for and stuff like that. I'm not naming figures, I'm just saying, I know for a fact that their budgets are bigger than mine. They were last year, they are this year, they will be next year, regardless of what league we're in, they will be the year after, because we haven't got that type of money at the club. So what I have to do is do the bit of business that I can do and try and get people in that want to come to the club and want to play the way I want to play, rather than being negative. And whether that's we lose a game, I'll take it on the chin. Some supporters at clubs want teams to either go long ball just to get the result, either want them to be negative to get the result. That's not me. I want to try and let players flourish and enjoy their football, because we went through an incident in the summer with Junior that opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. And if players can't go out there and express themselves and enjoy themselves, it hurts them. They're hurting in there. But if they can't do that on a football field, then they might as well not be out there. But like I say, I'm a bit perplexed really on what was said at half time. Well, I still can't get it out of my mind, Jim, and I won't do for this week because it's frightening.
I don't think the majority of supporters think that way.
No, and I'm not. Please don't get me wrong.
No.
I'm not tarring them with the same brush.
No.
Definitely not. You know, everyone's got their own opinions. Football's about opinions. That's why it's such a great game. But like I say, no, I'm not tarring all the supporters with the same brush. But like I say, that's a strong comment to make, especially 11 games in and where we are compared to where we was last year.
Yeah.
Last year, I would have taken that.
Yeah.
With the squad I've got this year, if we're sitting in the position we was last year, then everyone's got a right to come at me, and this ain't right, and I'll take it on the chin.
I mean, it's small comfort, but I've just had a quick chat with Richard Wilkins, and he thinks they're very lucky.
Well,
Leiston didn't play well. He says it.
Managers say when they had spells of possession with the ball, they kept it 15 passes or whatever, but we didn't go chasing it and get caught out. And they ended up knocking it long and we picked up the ball. When we had it, we was incisive and getting in between people and trying to hurt them and say we got the penalty. And he said to me afterwards, he said, you shouldn't have lost that. But that's football. That's what happens. You know, we go to Enfield. Wasn't a great game, but we end up nicking a 90-minute winner. That's your highs and that's your lows today. So, like I say, it's no consolation that he's saying that. I appreciate it, but
it's the truth.
They've come and done the job.
Yeah, but it is the truth. They didn't play particularly well.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Like I say, we did in stages, but not for the full 90 minutes, and that's why we come a cropper. But there's going to be twists and turns for the next 5-6 games, not the next 30 games. So I say the fans were fantastic again today, and we'll just try and pick it up and get a result next week at least in the FA Cup.
Thanks very much indeed for your honesty, Steve. Bad luck today.
Cheers, Jim.